Hello, I'm Doc Owen with Action Figure Times, and today we're going to start looking at some of the Flashpoint figures from DC Direct. If you have not read the Flashpoint series, it is a great series and really worth the look. Some interesting takes on several different things. Now, first, I think we should start off with the man responsible, which is Barry Allen, because there wouldn't be a Flashpoint without Flash, right? This does feature really his world, his nemesis in Professor Zoom. Now, in looking at this, I don't know if you can see it real well. I'll try, yeah, maybe right there. You can see it's got the Flashpoint down, bolt down the middle, and it's got these two things on the side, which I'm not sure what it's supposed to represent, really. It's got his name right across the bottom, The Flash. On the back, you see the four figures of the first wave, which is the Batman, Thomas Wayne, Wonder Woman as the Queen of the Amazons, Cyborg, who's basically Superman in the Flashpoint universe, and then Flash himself. There is one other figure we will be looking at, and that will be Professor Zoom. Mr. Thawne was exclusive for Comic-Con, and we'll be looking at him. Now, let's go ahead and open this up. Now, I like the fact that they didn't give me a big ostentatious stand. I like all my money in the figure and not in the stand. I like them when they're small, because I have a lot of action figures and I want to be able to stand them all up. Now, you know, one of the things that I liked about Flashpoint was the different takes of what could have been. There's some things I didn't agree with would have happened. Especially with the Thomas Wayne Batman situation. I can see him becoming Wayne. I can see him becoming Batman. I can't really see Martha ending up where she ended up. But, and even Thomas, I kind of, the whole thing about the Wayne casinos and stuff, I kind of understand the logic, but I don't know that I could altogether buy that he would get in there. Now, as with these figures, they are basically posable statues. He doesn't, forget Jean-Claude Van Damme. Ow, he's not even a Doc Owen. He doesn't go very far at all. Now, he doesn't have much articulation. I have to say that this figure was probably my least favorite of the wave. Now, there are some things on here I do like. One I don't like is the fact that pressed in the package, his wingding here. Well, excuse me, wingding's from Nightwing, but his wing right there, it's pressed in too close to his head. I do like the fact that they stand out from his head. I think that's very good. There's something about his facial sculpt, and we'll take a look at it when we look up close, that leaves me a bit cold, to be honest with you. No pun intended with Captain Cold. So, but let's go ahead and take a look at, and I'll tell you, I think that we ought to have more joints on a guy that's a speedster. I like I like the tread on the boots. I like some of the detail down the sides. That's good. The ridges on his uniform. I think that maybe, especially since they used this buck to create Professor Zoom, I would have liked to have seen some sort of ridged on the lightning bolts around him, but maybe technically doesn't have that, so that might be kind of bogus. His Flash symbol looks good. To me, it's kind of reminiscent of Alex Ross, who likes to make the symbols large and iconic. I think that's very, very good. So here we are looking at the Flash up close. Now, I've got a mark right there. I don't think that's supposed to be battle damage. I think maybe it bumped up against another figure or something. I do think I figured out what I don't like about this figure. I think the torso is too long. I was noticing this and on the Batman Flashpoint figure. The torso is very, very long. I mean, like somebody grabbed into his head and his feet and stretched him out. Now, again, this face, this close, looking at it like this, it does kind of grow on me, actually. I really dig the eyes. He needs to lose the lipstick. I mean, that's just bogus. Did a good job, like I said, on the wings. Those look good. Nice, iconic symbol. And there's the wings on the side of the uniform, or on the side of his boots. And I actually like the way that they kind of fit. They actually look more like real shoes. I do have like a little bit of a messed up paint application there, so watch that when you're purchasing. That's my articulation there. That's my articulation there, which means not much. The back looks good. All in all, this is a very, very cool figure. Doc Owen back again with Action Figure Times. Now we're going to be looking at Zoom, Professor Zoom. Now, Mr. Thawne has long been an enemy of the Flash. However, I think that where it comes to this figure, I actually like this figure more than I did the Flash figure, even though some of the same complaints, because this probably has the greatest facial sculpt that I've seen in a long, long time. Now, a little bit about Mr. Thawne. He is from the San Diego Comic Con. He was limited to 4,000. There were people lined up everywhere, and it was a pain in the butt to get you one of these things. I personally, I think I either bought this on the internet or I went to Graffiti Designs after the con. I'm not exactly sure. Normally when I'm at the con, I like talking to you guys and gals, being able to visit and talk about toys, and I love it when we get to visit. But I also had a lot of interviews and things to do, and it kept me from being in lines. Now, let's go ahead and open him up. Basically, it says Zoom convention exclusive across there. It's got the 4,000. Now, one of the things we did not look at when I opened up Flash was they actually did some kind of a cool splash in the back. That's kind of neat, don't you think? Now, the figure is basically identical. It does come with a stand. You know, this was really major changes in for Thawne in the Flashpoint universe. Major changes, especially at the end. But the fact that he got free of Barry and some other things, I don't know if you read it, so I don't want to spoil it completely. But you can see, you know, he's got his traditional costume, looks good. You can tell it's the regular Buck. Let me show you here. Okay, you can tell they're the same. But where do these figures really come apart? Look at this head sculpt. I just can't wait to show you it up close. It is awesome. Probably one of the greatest head sculpts I've seen in a long, long time. Okay, so here we are looking at Zoom. I honestly believe this is probably one of the best sculpts I've seen in a long time, facial sculpts. Look at that. I mean, the brow, look at his eyes, yellow, that sinister grin, the way that his wings swing back and seem more like horns on his head. I mean, this is a great, great sculpt. I mean, he just looks menacing and ferocious. Anyway, I mean, I really, really dig this face. It's worth every penny just for that. Look at that. Nice symbol. Everything looks good. Again, he is the exact same figure as the Flash. You can see kind of the torso and stuff. It's just, you know, basically just like in real comic life. It's just a reversal of the costume. So it really looks good. But what's the reason to get this? This sculpt. That is just too sweet. Hi, I'm Doc Owen with Action Figure Times. We're continuing on looking at the Flashpoint series from DC Direct. Once again, they've made some awesome sculpts. Now, looking at the packaging, you can kind of see how it is. It's got Wonder Woman all the way across the front. It tells you who it is. Now, this is a character that I both loved and hated. In the back, you can see the rest of the figures. If you haven't seen them before, we are reviewing all the figures in this way. Let's go ahead and open her up, though. I both loved and hated this character. I loved her because she was, I mean, she's vicious, man. I mean, what she did to Mira was like, I thought that was awesome. I mean, just, she shows up and it's over. You know, she shows up like it might be a bad fight and then and it's over. Now, I love that. I hated the fact that she was so easily deceived. I'd like to think of Wonder Woman as a woman that's got some intelligence. She's got some wisdom about herself, and she just didn't conduct herself that way. Not only that, I have to say that, you know, because she was fighting with Aquaman, or Emperor Aquaman, excuse me, I have to say that I've never got the impression, honestly, that Wonder Woman would have any trouble knocking Aquaman around. This is Wonder Woman. She already has on Mira's helmet, which she took from her in grand fashion. Now, she does come with a sword. We'll go ahead and deal with that. And it does, I believe it will fit into the scabbard. Yes, it will. But, oh, but my scabbard, pop, ooh. Uh-oh. Folks, I don't think it's supposed to do that. It came completely apart. I think it's supposed to go in there. I think it would fit, but mine just split into pieces. You know, why is it every time I get a Wonder Woman figure from DC Direct, I end up breaking something on top of her? You remember what happened with, who was that? Oh, Star Sapphire Wonder Woman, and I ripped her head off right out of the package, and that wasn't even me. Okay, I mean, I was just opening it just like I normally, with my normal ginger self, you know. I think that they did an excellent job on the sculpt. There isn't a whole lot of movement, once again, because it is a DC Direct, but it is an awesome sculpt. You can see the W there. That's very, very nice. I like some of the detail in her hands. Now, one thing I find a little bit odd is that her scabbard is on her left side, and it will be her left hand that will pull the sword, which I don't know if you've ever messed with a sword, but you usually put it on the opposite side of where your hand is, unless, I guess you could draw it like using a katana where you're going to hit somebody with a hilt. It does fit in there very nicely, though. That's kind of cool. Nice boots are very, very cool. It's like a combination of Dr. Doom and Robin. Isn't that kind of wild? Look at that. This is a soft plastic cape. Hair looks nice. And just some of the amazing detailing on this figure is just very, very cool. You know, this looks like she's got an arm joint there. Oh yeah, there she does. See, that her arm does actually bend. But I'll show you that in a minute up close. So here we are looking at Wonder Woman. You can see the helmet. You know, it looks scratched up and dingy. She's been in a couple battles, let people get a little bit too close. Man, I thought she was supposed to be good, and she lets them get all marked up. Oh, that's probably from when Mira had it. Nice eyes, nice and bright. Nice bright lipstick. Now, one thing I haven't talked about with these figures, and we'll just go ahead and cover it now because she actually needs it, this is the stand that comes with them. People say, well, that's kind of a lame. Hey, I like it because it's small, so I'm digging it. But she actually needs it to stand. So you can see they did an excellent job on the chainmail. Nice little addition there with the gold around her neck. Nice eagles on the side. I mean, those elbow pads are something you would not want to encounter in a fight. She's got some nice gauntlets there. Kind of a cool, I like the way this Wonder Woman comes up around her breasts. This W feather comes up around her breast. That looks good. Nice gold. I mean, really nice detailing. I think it could have been a little bit more metallic, but overall I think it looks great. This looks great. Again, that chainmail. Her boots, they remind me of a cross between Dr. Doom and Robin. I mean, she doesn't have much articulation. Again, I do think it is weird that her scabbard, I guess if it falls out right out, it doesn't matter which hand you use, but she should draw with this hand. But she can't. This is actually her sword hand. Now, speaking of this scabbard, let me show you what it actually looked like before and it wasn't me. You saw me just trying to stick the sword in. It's nice looking. I'm going to have to do some glue on it and then say something to the guys at DC Direct about it. But speaking of swords, this is her weapon. Not a bad looking sword. It reminds me of something like a warlord would have. Same kind of stuff on the other side with her, you know, her armband. That's kind of cool. The hair looks great. I think it made it nice and flowing, kind of angry looking. Nice cape with the, you got some stars on the belt. They really brought a lot to this figure. I think they did an excellent job with it, with what they had, but guys, you need to work on your quality control because I don't like buying figures that I have to repair or that when I go back to the shop to exchange them, that they don't have that figure in stock anymore. Anyway, this is Doc Owen looking at the Flashpoint Wonder Woman. Hope you've enjoyed looking at this.